Hello, I'm Rangru,
And I'm Graham.
and we're here today with another 1v1 from Right For It, the Wargame Bootcamp Discord, a league tournament. We are on a mud fight, and who is getting dirty today, Mr. Graham?
So on the left-hand side here, we have Ghosty playing as Eurocorps General. And then on the right, we have Nick the Man, or I should say Field Marshal Nick the Man, playing as Scandinavia General.
Indeed, we do, and right off the bat, Ghosty is going to be firing off a bunch of mortar smoke into Delta. The Tigra is going to be able to definitely defend that defender. And we're seeing also a pretty concentrated push here from the southern flank from Nick.
Yeah, it seems like Nick has decided that he doesn't want to make the race for the town, and they're between Delta and Alpha, which rang like if we cast a lot of these matches, that's typically where a lot of the heavy-duty combat goes. Whereas Nick the Man's actually going for a more southern approach there between Delta and Foxtrot. And there's not a lot there for Ghosty, though he actually is shifting his two Leclercs and some Vavs down there because he recognizes the danger.
Got two Leclercs at the start of the match. That's pretty nuts. I mean, looking at Northern Village, there's barely anything just going in there, just one infantry squad, but this is bizarre seeing people fight over this town, which is usually utterly abandoned apart from ATGM troops.
Yeah, they maybe change the pace. Nick has a strategy that he's practiced that he views that town as more viable for his deck. I mean, I really don't know because you're right. Like normally that town above Delta is where the main source of conflict is, but he's getting a ton of infantry in that town right now. So the Legion 90, while they are high quality, they're just really outmatched here in just the raw amount of shock infantry that Nick the Man has in this town complex.
Yeah, and all the Fatima Ignites are getting Eric shots on the Leclerc, forcing him to fall back a bit. We're seeing smoke already being dropped to cover their arse, and this is a very effective push. He's very much clumped into his town, but it's gonna be he's gonna capture the town. The question is whether it will pay off in terms of map control.
Yeah, I don't know. It might actually be better. Maybe he can continue moving in the upper direction and hit the town where the AMX NRC is close to Echo and maybe threaten the spawn. Because, I mean, he's dumped everything in there. Those Legion 90 are going to go down. The Vabs and the Clerks have evacuated that position. One Clerk did take 3 HP of damage. And so Nick the Man has a ton of units, but they're all extremely concentrated in this one town. And it's pretty much just infantry, though there is an STRV 121.
Yeah, it's a very both sides are very interesting openers. I mean, Ghosty invests in 2 super heavy tanks right off the bat, and just this massive. I mean, every single block in that town is almost covered of angry Scandinavians at this point. It's very unorthodox compared to the standard Alpha affair. I mean, there's barely anyone up in Alpha.
I think if you're Ghosty, maybe flexing the Alpha right now is the move, and you lock that area down. Because honestly, I'm not sure where does all this infantry go, except forward. And we actually see there's some Dragonairs moving up. SCRFs, yeah, the APCs moving up to support IVs, moving up to support them. I mean, I guess you can go for the town there, but there's AMX 10s coming out as well, and the mortars can also probably buy Ghosty a little bit of time if Nick tries to fully commit to that.
And I feel like pushing up the hill into that town is going to be overextending himself a little bit, especially if a very infantry-focused push. It's also just a very terrible supply line from your spawn compared to the enemy spawn.
Yeah, and maybe he's going to try and cut the road from, down from Echo there between Delta and Alpha. I guess he could maybe try and make a move there to cut off that access point. But it looks like, Ghosty is already putting infantry to kind of do the same thing against Nick.
Yeah. Yeah, Nick's in not a terrible position considering this is a rather odd attack on the town, because it does allow you to neutralize Foxtrot rather easily, because it does give you a good foothold near the region. And yeah, just the ability to kind of flank around into Delta and knock out the supply line does play well for Alpha, but he's not really too concerned about it right now. He's still trying to make a very forward thrust over into Echo.
Yeah, and we see that so the Dragonairs did push up there a little bit, and they kind of got slapped a bit. So they're evacuating that, leaving that area right there. And that's probably is the end of that, I think, there, Rang. You either immediately commit to that push after the initial victory, or I think you kind of have to admit that might be just, a village too far.
Yes, probably a little bit too far. We are seeing the first or second CV from Nick actually. He's going heavy for the command zones early on, which is definitely a smart move considering his early aggression. There's not really too much he can really push with right now, so you might as well just try to grab those juicy points.
Yeah, Ghosty and Cap Foxtrot at the same time here. We see he's got an infantry CV, so Nick will have a +1, I think, maybe for a little bit of time. The Leclerc's actually one of the clerks got really damaged by the Ericsons there of
And also the RBS got a hit on one as well.
Oh, okay. Yep, that explains the heavy HP damage then to it. But honestly, Ghosty's kind of... I'm not really sure. He's spread out into Alpha, so he does have like a light foothold there. I mean, there's nothing really in front of him. He does have Commandos Pair and Delta as well. The Chasseurs are holding the town there. It looks like he's kind of going maybe just to contain Rang, the central force there of Nick.
That definitely does seem to be the case. He's bringing around Joe's Clerks, which honestly have not been a great investment, especially just due to his type of infantry-focused matchup as, you know, definitely overkill for the current situation. Like you said before, probably his best bet for Ghosty is to try to push heavy up north into Alpha and Delta, lock that down, and just go around the town, ignore it. What are they going to do, leave the town?
Yeah, no, that's a great point, and you can kind of use the clerks as like an anchor for the position, right? I mean, even in front of him, there's just the Falkstrom between the two towns there in Delta. Honestly, he could keep probing up and try and cut off Nick's supply line up from Charlie and Bravo into Delta Alpha. We just see an infantry call out there into Alpha for Ghosty, and I think that's a smart move. Well, he brought a Caesar up. I didn't even notice that.
Oh,
yeah, so he brought some heavy artillery out. I don't think he's going to try and push that position anytime soon, but I do think he's going to just try and maybe whittle down, a lot of the substance there.
He's getting counter-batteried already by a Bacan, so both sides going heavy on the anti-party action.
Yeah, both of them bringing out the big guns right there. It's just, honestly, we don't see that a lot in these 1v1s here. These are two of the best players in the game, and you see them kind of flexing different levels of their deck that you just honestly don't see that often. Heavy artillery brought out already, counter battery. It's like a real war going down.
Yeah, Nick's actually doing a very interesting maneuver, actually pushing down into Foxtrot, which if he can get into that central Foxtrot forest, that is another very good defensive position for him to hold with his infantry. And if he does get into the out forest, it actually gives him a very good chance to leapfrog into the next forest and potentially capture the zone entirely, which is a hard thing to do considering it's so close to the reinforcement zone.
Yeah, it's going to be difficult for him. The Leclercs are actually pushing down from Echo, I think maybe to try and cut off some of this infantry and these light vehicles that are trying to make a move for what you just said there. We see some recon infantry and transport TGB moving into Foxtrot as well, though Gazelle Cannon's actually... Oh, no, it's going to get... Yeah, the Gazelle Cannon's going to move up and intercept along with the AMX-10 there. So that's some Falkstrom that's going to maybe get hit. Oh, no, the Cannon's just going to keep going. Never mind.
Cannon has other plans, and maybe it's a CV snipe. Or maybe it's just trying to spot the Bacan to counter-battery it.
Yeah, there's definitely a couple of avenues that you can go with the Gazelle Cannon. They can get up to some mischievous activities. Oh, we see the Leclercs engaging the STRV 121 over there in Foxtrot. One of them has an optical failure, though a hit just went in onto the STR 121. Oh, and the smoke comes in to cover it. Oh, but the other Leclerc pushes up there, gets another hit under half health there. Oh, but the smoke actually stops the Leclerc from finishing the job.
Yep, just having the numbers, is definitely advantageous, of course, for Ghosty, as he is actually trying to push the STRV because it's.
Oh, but the STRV's detract. Oh, it's got a random crit. Oh, but then the Leclerc actually engages a different target. He needs to back it up now. Yeah, there you see the quick, fast rate of fire. Oh, but it's 1 HP.
Oh, so close.
He might be tempted to test it.
He's going to, but the Falcon Yagas.
He's going to need to make sure he's targeted the...
No,
he didn't click on the... Yeah, so the SCRV actually gets the kill there down to 1 HP. Maybe he just gave it an attack order, right? And then now here comes a peace rhyme, which just kind of feels a little lackluster with the loss of the Leclerc for a 1 HP SCRV 1. Oh, it doesn't even go for the 121. It hits the transports. They 113s.
Not a good trade at all there for Ghosty. Nick definitely. I was like an unintentional bait with the SCRV, I think, but he had a good amount of backup fire support to keep out one tank alive. And you see we got heavy artillery being dropped because it's only 1 HP.
Yeah, that's really hard right there. If you're Ghosty, you were so close to getting it. Your Leclerc twice shot something other than the SCRV 121, allowing it to live there. And then now you're down on Leclerc, and then there's another SCRV 121 coming out here for Nick. And Nick's now actually got more heavy armor than Ghosty does.
Mm-hmm. Which is definitely going to help him on this crusade into Foxtrot, as now he actually has a good amount of fire support to back up his infantry.
Yeah, then now this is now a really strong push. There's some smoke screens there to get this infantry pushing up, especially those Fallschirmjäger 90s can get into that forest line with the Ericses. It'll make any push back into Foxtrot from Ghosty really costly.
Yeah, but I also noticed that Nick has been shelling the absolute crap out of the CV forest in Foxtrot, forcing the command infantry out of it. Just that Pecan is, well, I mean, it's a Pecan, it's ridiculous rate of fire. Also, yeah, it's 107mm mortars as well, doing a bit of action.
Yeah, a lot of artillery nonstop from both players. You would think it was like Steel Division and they had like a smart order on, like how active the artillery is there. Oh, and HEGM reaching out for the Leclerc. The Leclerc is down to half health, though. I'm not sure what it engaged, but it got messed up for sure. But yeah, Nick is going to take that forest there, right? Like you talked about it, earlier. The Leclerc is getting some damage in, but that's Neuseln-Jaeger and that's Fallschirmjäger, and that's going to be hard for Ghosty to push out of. Though he is locking down Alpha as we speak.
Yep, he's got a very good position in Alpha now, and he can probably, if he really decided to, like push hard into Delta, maybe get into the Delta Charlie town. Of course.
MLU coming into Foxtrot rank. He's going deep in there. Missiles are out. Oh, and it actually hits an AMX-10.
Rafael.
Oh, but Rafael is out. And is actually going to get the hit. Gets a hit. Oh, a turbine failure, 2 HP. Yeah, so it's actually Rafael does not get the kill.
Yeah. But I think it's if Ghosty was to, realize just how weak the northern flank is, he can really reverse the momentum of this match by pushing through Delta and heck, maybe getting a nice sort of foothold into Charlie, as that would definitely release a little bit of pressure from his current Foxtrot push, which is looking pretty scary, but it's mainly still just a lot of infantry right now. So it's going to take time for him to actually continue on the attack.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. He really could push down and kind of sever the access from Charlie up into Delta and Alpha. He can get in that town there past the Fallschirmjäger and be really annoying. I mean, honestly, he could threaten the base if he wanted to, just to get pressure, like you said, away from Foxtrot. Because Nick is basically like built. He might as well bring a fob and drop it right there, because he's building a base camp in that town and kind of extending it further outwards. And I just don't see how Ghosty evicts him from those positions.
Yeah, it is one of the huge benefits of attacking that town, and if you can consolidate it, especially with just the amount of infantry Nick Demand has brought in, he is not getting kicked out of that town unless there's, Buratinos on the field.
Yeah, that's definitely something that I'm not sure, like, what's in the Eurocore deck is going to be quite able is built for that type of fight right there. Did you see the piece? What did it blow up? Another transport?
Just some crappy transport.
Yeah, and helicopter got some nice damage in and some infantry there. The VAB's going to push down with its 20 mil. Yeah, he's got to be careful. Actually, that's just base Faust. Falconer, something Falconer Knight. Okay, so Leclerc's actually pretty safe right there.
Yeah. Yeah, the one benefit here for Ghosty in the southern flank is he does have the high ground still, so he can just park a few cheap vehicles, infantry support stuff on that hill, and just pick off any infantry who dare poke their head out of that forest.
Yeah, and he's also bringing in a Panther here. Going to probably resupply the Tiger right there, which is smart. He does have helos that can really, especially with their rocket pods, can contribute and deal, whittling down some of this infantry, which is really something Nick doesn't have himself. But he does have a rover kind of like in the back of Foxtrot, but these helos can get some damage done if he plays it right.
Yep. We're just seeing a bit of artillery back and forth. Actually, Kaiser killing an M41, which is actually out of fuel, which isn't too surprising, yeah. But just...
Yeah, they always... it's really they're meant to just run out of gas.
But we're just seeing, you know, small little pokes here and there from Nick the Man and the Foxtrot actually trying to push along the far southern flank now with some more
a side
bulldogs.
shot was landed into the STRV 121 by the Fuchs Milan. It's so it actually brings it down to half HP. So Nick's gonna have to use his resupply to actually repair that STRV. Nice little hit there by the Milan.
Yeah, good hit indeed. And that's, yeah, it's just a Milan run, so
yeah,
even bloody better.
The Peace Ride is up, loitering. He's looking for that STRV 121, but Nick does have it in the forest there, so I don't think it's going to be able to find a target unless he brings it back out. But like I said there, the Panther just absolutely annihilating that infantry right there in front of it. The Panther is such a good chopper. Those 68mm rockets just can just shred through infantry like it's nothing.
Yeah, if Nick the Man arming Ghosty can just spot Nick's infantry, you know, using effective recon, he has the fire support capabilities with the Panther, AMX 1390, the Kaiser, Caesar. I've been playing New Vegas recently. Just blow up the infantry one by one. Peace Ryan coming in, misses both. It's a small tank, to be fair, you know.
Yeah, it is small, though it did tank the Eric shot from the Legion 90 there, then absolutely wiped the floor with them. And that's just something that, you know, when you watch, like, for 10 points, it gets 2 HE. Like, it's so cheap, and it's already paid itself off.
Yeah. Go, like, one infantry shot with that tank, and boom, that's cost-effective.
Yeah, and the Panther goes down to the Rover that we talked about a little bit earlier. Ghosty kind of left it up there. The Peace Run shot at something.
It's F-16.
And the French fighter came out, but no kills again. I think another hit, though.
Oh, F-16 onto the Raphael, not going to do anything. But Nick is going to be bringing up a CV into Delta here to try and get some more tick to his advantage. He doesn't have the best position in Delta, and Commando's powers will probably spot him. But he still has this threat range from that central town position. Just the potential of moving through the open field and getting ATGM'd is, you know, it doesn't make it as easy, so to speak, to reroute his CV. Yeah, especially if he brings it to this, like, southern corner of Delta. That's pretty much behind the town.
Yeah, Ghosty needs to be a little careful with his recon helicopter here. The Rover is kind of in position. It's out of range, though we see Nick is moving it up there. He does get the kill on the two M41, so that's nice. But he needs to back that up, or that Rover is going to take his expensive chopper out of the sky. Yeah, actually, there he goes. He's like, I'm getting out of here.
Nice about being a recon chopper, you can see the anti-air before it shoots you. Most of the time.
Ooh, the problem is those Fallschirmjäger are pushing up, and they're getting kind of close to his CV there. He needs to be a little worried about it, I think.
Yeah, he doesn't have a whole lot of fire support. Well, he has a few VABs left, but that's not a whole lot. You know, actually, Nick... Oh, okay, the Eric's is in perfect position to act as the anti-tank.
Yeah, and he actually is bringing up Ghosty Martyr 2s, so some Panzergrins are coming in here. I kind of like the Martyr 2 call out there. The Fallschirmjäger can be a major pain, but if he can spot them, the Martyr 2s, they'll just absolutely shred him with the 7 frontal armor. They're quite tanky.
Yeah, he just needs the fire support more than anything right now. There's not a whole lot of anti-armor apart from the single SCRV 121, which he has to worry about.
Yeah, and the SCRV has been fully repaired. Oh, nice shot there by the Caesar. You're dropping down the Fallschirmjäger to 1 HP. Peace Ryan and the Raphael are both up. So it looks like Ghosty's looking for some... Oh, he just kills the M41s again.
And Armada 2 gets blapped crossing the field by the 121. Definitely getting a little bit too conky with that push.
Yeah, and then you see Nick flexing his leverage there, and Fox tries to get more infantry on the further side here. This CV, honestly, is in major danger here for for Ghosty. He needs to really be careful, and if he loses that, he's basically already out of Foxtrot to begin with.
Yeah, he barely has a foothold left. Like, Nick just has a very good threat coverage over the entirety of that sector, pretty much. Not so much. If he can get some ATGM troops, into that current forest of Foxtrot to start sniping stuff coming down the road, that's pretty much, you know, Sector's bug at that point. But
Right.
fortunately, Ghosty does have that Kaiser, and it is providing really good pressure, because you can just kind of shoot generally into that central Foxtrot forest and do a bit of damage. Well,
Yeah,
Southern
he's
Forest.
definitely. Well, the Peace Ryan getting a kill on the automatic right there. Nice little pickup for it. It's not like the first time really something of value, I think, that's died for Nick demanded from those from the planes. Excuse me. See the AMX 10 RCs up in Delta. They are engaging some Foster Miyagi that pushed out. They kind of have to now back up. And those commandos paras were taking on some infantry from the Crotal, actually saving him from death. Though I think he might die anyways.
Yeah, it's a little bit out in the open. Yeah, I do like how the Fauci from Nick Demand and Delta. It's a very forward position, but it's gonna pay off because as you've seen, he's spotting the MX-10. He's probably out
Yeah.
in. Actually, look at his sight. Okay, he doesn't actually see too much from here, but he will be able to see stuff which comes down the road. Just gives him a little bit of a heads up.
Obviously, it's a really good spot. It gives him a lot of vision down the roads there, I think, and he can also just be annoying with it. As we see there, the Swedish ATGMs getting both AMX-10 RCs. That sucks to lose if you're Ghosty. And the longer this game goes on, Rang, especially, I think it's hard to see where Ghosty makes his move, and I just don't think Foxtrot's probably it, though he's continuing to invest resources there. But there's so much firepower from Nick in Foxtrot.
Yeah, Nick has been able to capture these locations and really dig down into them quite well, pretty much denying any effective counterattack means. Like, yeah, trying to recapture Foxtrot in its entirety, it's just not going to work, because he's going to really have to clear out that town position, and he can't do that.
He flew his Raphael real deep there. Took a hit from one of the rovers, flying over the other one as well. Is it going to actually get hit? No, it doesn't. So he does get away, but dangerous move there by Ghosty.
Yeah. Yeah, if Nick can just keep buying for time and just force the fight into Foxtrot, he's pretty much good. He has a decent point lead.
Right.
I mean, he can recapture Delta now if he so decided to. I mean, it's going to be very hard for Ghost to even put a CV into Delta right now.
Yeah, honestly, Nick could cap Delta if he wanted to. He's in firm control of it, and there's nothing of substance, I think, from Ghosty that can push Delta currently. He's fully invested into retaking Fox right here. And it's actually a massive push. We got some seed up in the air. Oh, the Puff killing the Tiger right there, going in deep. Same time, the C's are getting counter-battered by the Bootcamp, taking big HP damage down to 3. And you just see that fast rate of fire there. Was the C's are going to make it? And that
He's
one's
booking
looking
it.
real. He needs to evacuate the dance floor. Just the Beacon's so dirty in the counter battery roll. Down to 1 HP. Oh, he's gonna make it out. That's crazy.
Yeah.
But at the same time,
sorry, go ahead.
Just say the same time the push is going in from Ghosty into Foxtrot. He lost a 2A1 to something. I think maybe the SRV 121. The Rima getting a shot in with the Apilas right there, doing massive damage to it, and the Leclerc really he can kind of be a little more aggressive with it now.
Okay, honestly, maybe Ghosty can actually... he can at least get his Central Forest into Foxtrot. This is actually a pretty good push. That 121 is really low on HP. And the 1390 comes in, knocks it down to a single hit point left. This is pretty dire here from Nick, and now he's going to have to evacuate the dance floor.
Yeah, really strong push here by Ghosty that I honestly didn't think would work. But he was able to get just enough right engagements here that SCRV is dipping big time as these Falstrom Yard are trying to buy time so he can get away the heavy equipment. They are going to go down here. Panzergrins, Martyr 2. Yeah, Martyr 2 just little 50 mil right there to the face.
Yep, and this definitely does change things quite a bit because he can at least try and snipe the CV in Foxtrot. He's not going to get a really good position unless he tries to clear the town.
So Peace Ryan gets a kill on an automatic, but the automatic avenges his comrade, killing the Peace Ryan. So really a 1-to-1 trade there between the two of them. Where'd the Leclerc go? There it is. I mean, honestly, I think Ghosty, he could probably send it a little bit if he wanted to. There's not much protecting that STRV, though he is getting repaired actively right now inside the smoke.
Yeah. He just really needs to he's at, like, the precipice of potentially changing the momentum to his advantage, but he's just not quite yet. We're already seeing a bit of a counter-attack here from Nick with just a bunch of cheap tanks and also Fennec Toad too to try just zone out any more open pushes through Foxtrot here.
Yeah, we see another SCRV 121 being called out here by Nick. So I guess he lost one somewhere, and I just didn't notice it, Rain, because I only see the one.
Oh.
Yeah, he lost one at a certain point. I guess we just missed it. Oh, the SRV pushed out there, takes a hit from the Tiger, also took a hit from the AMX. He should be able to get back here, yeah. But down to half HP again.
Yeah. That's just going to be more time. Oh, it gets hit because of smoke.
And the
Oh!
strike comes in, cleans it up. Nice kill there to the automatic actually just out of range, not able to engage. And this Leclerc can really gets repaired, can start to assert its dominance once that Phoenix out of the way.
Yeah, that was a pretty big pick, right? Yeah, because now it's just a bunch of cheaper, crappier tanks in that Fennec Toe too, which he really has to worry about. And he's actually pushing a little bit into Delta here, just some recon infantry and cheap fire support to back him up. So, yeah, maybe Ghosty can kind of pop his red 4 pimple in the center finally, if he can flank around from both sides. The question is roughly 13.5 minutes left. Does he have time to catch up by 100 points?
I think he does, but he needs to kill the CV in Foxtrot. There is a CV being called out right now by Nick, an infantry one, which I believe will be for Delta. And honestly, I wish Ghosty brought those AMX 10s back down because he could completely clean up Delta. The he just doesn't know, but the ATGM infantry that was bothering him is down to only one missile left, at least from that sector of the middle of town. Because so many of the supplies have been going for Nick to keeping those SCRVs alive.
Yeah.
Oh, and he's shelling the spot. Yeah.
Oh no, it's quite crazy. Yeah, the heavy artillery from both sides have actually paid off, which usually doesn't happen.
Yeah, both have been very active with it. I think that's a big thing that we talked about earlier, just constantly firing. For the brief seconds here that you see the B-Can's not firing, but don't worry, Nick already has it queued up. It's aiming. So it's going to be dropping some 155 somewhere here on the map. But Ghosty, I think, needs to follow this up. You don't want to give Nick time to kind of rebuild the front line as it was. So he really, I think, Ghosty's on a timer here. Plus, he is down almost 100 points, right?
Yeah, he needs to just make a ballsy push somewhere, and I think it's going to be harder for him to push now. I mean, both players' FOBs are pretty much empty, and I don't think it really that's not advantageous if you're trying to be the attacker. You really need that Caesar to clear up that town pretty much.
Yeah, and I mean, if Ghosty has the resource or the infantry, he could take it. I mean, we see Rima's pushed up, Leclerc here is pushed up. There are ATGMs, but I mean, he could. What happened to his mortars? Oh, they're there. He could smoke up. Okay, yeah. And then there's some Martyr 2s coming up, plus AMX 10s. I mean, he can evict him from Foxtrot. I think he just kind of has to commit to it at this point.
Yeah, and Nick is, setting up a second defensive line really just outside of Foxtrot. Got the 1-2-1, the Automatica, another CV on standby. I don't know if he's probably going to try and sneak a infantry CV into Delta, which would also be a pretty good play, because as we're seeing right now, Ghosty has the same idea, but with a tank.
Yeah, try and get a command leopard in there. So both of them opting to try and see if they get a point tick here in Delta to put the game away. If you're Nick, to put the game away, Ghosty to get try and get back into it here. Though Nick is going to get the infantry CV in, and he will get it in first, and that's really going to start to apply pressure on Ghosty to make something happen. At the same time, Nick is calling out 8 infantry units. I wish it showed us what they were like it. But he has 8 of something on the way. Oh, the Dragonaires? Okay. Yeah, so he's going to have that. And then 113 is trying to rush the town there just to really be annoying and apply some more pressure onto Ghosty as we enter the final stage of this game.
Yeah, honestly, his Dragonair push could turn out to go really well. There's nothing really defending that. Oh, he ends up one of the clerks, yeah, but he can definitely get most of his infantry up that hill. I mean, he's not going to get into echo of it, but he can be a pain in the arse holding that town, which will redirect Ghosty's defensive or, the forces to try to deal with the Dragonaires.
Yeah, we see the Peace Ride picking off some more small stuff right there. Smoke coming out from the mortars, or no, yeah, from the mortars, I believe, in front of, kind of around the trans. Both of them are smoking near the trans. Oh no, okay, yeah, I see. Never mind. Excuse me. So the Caesar is dropping some HE. So he's down to no.
Whether smoke or fire.
Yeah, absolutely. And so AMX Sin RCs here are pushing up. I mean, that's their job there. They are little light recon tanks, trying to see if they can spot anything. SCRV opens up immediately, slaps one of them right there. You gotta wonder if homie's trying to get out. Nope, he's dead too. So SCRV reveals his position there, killing the two AMXs. So Ghosty understands that that's what's in front of him here. But he's definitely playing it slow, Ring.
Yeah, and he really does not have the time. I mean, Nick has set up, even up north, he has a pretty decent defensive line now, just in that town. It's nothing crazy, but as we're seeing, Ghosty isn't really investing all that much, yeah. Oh, he's going to try and bomb the CV in Delta.
Yeah, he's gonna try and cluster bomb it. I don't know. Maybe Ghosty didn't anticipate that he would have one of those. Bombs are out. If they get the, are they gonna get the kill? No, so it is still alive, 4 HP, but it pushes out right there. Finnick Toe sees it. He needs to get back in the smoke, and it's dead.
He flushes it out. Yeah, that was pretty good. I don't think that was intentional, but that was pretty good.
Yeah, that was a crazy move right there from Nick, which allows him to regain this point tick. And at this point, it's harder to see how Ghosty's able to come up with a W.
Yeah, he's just really not been able to gain the momentum throughout this match. Nick has just been constantly battering him down anytime he has any chance of pushing through. And we're also seeing an infantry push.
And the M41's actually got multiple side shots into the Leclerc, and then the SCRV comes in, hits it really hard. It's down to 2 HP. At the same time, like you said, Rain, the infantry is going in. It's like the charge of the Light Brigade here, except I think they're going to live.
And even bringing in some M48 patterns as well, so some proper fire support there.
Oh yeah, friendly fire as well. Bootcamp killing more of his own boys than the Chasseurs are, but it's okay. He's got a lot of them. Yeah, but that push, I think, will succeed there. Brute force.
Oh, is he gonna... No, he's sending it.
He's going it. Yep, he's going. He's sending it. The Cassiopeas have been called out. There's 6 of them now. 7 of them. Ghosty going... Is this a quick play game? Ghosty going full into... Oh, there's more than that. There's a ton of them. There they go. 7 of them being mobilized. The French Air Force is going in. Actually, I think the helicopters are part of the army.
Yeah. Yeah, the
Cassiopeias, there they go. They're going. There's actually not too much AA in front of them until you reach the automatic in the back line. Two AA pieces called out from Nick in response. Raphael going in deep, hitting the puff. Does he actually get the kill? Yeah, it does get the kill there.
Automatic.
Oh, with automatic, he's going to get the kill on the Raphael.
Stunned.
Oh, that's stunned.
Clutch. Absolutely clutch, yeah.
Yeah, that is really... Oh, but no, Ghosty needs to recall it. It's going to fly right back over.
Oh! You moron!
Oh, but the automatic...
You buffoon! No! He had a chance.
Oh, no, he did have a chance. And there it goes. It goes tumbling down to the ground there in a ball of flame. As you see the Cassiope, he's still kind of... I mean, I felt like maybe there was a timing he could have hit here and got to the CV in Delta. But now I don't... there's a lot of AA coming out here. Some 40mm Beaufort actions, more Rovers as well. Yeah, so I think whatever timing he wanted to hit with these helicopters might be gone.
He got roadblocked by all the Dragoneers. I don't know if that was intentional or not, but yeah, it has given Nick the Man time to bring in the anti-aircraft, and the automatic is going to make very short work of all of that.
Yeah, the automatic plus the LVKV, both of them, you know, good AAPs in their own right, and these choppers just getting absolutely annihilated here. All of them going down. I mean, Peace Ryan picks it off, and they do evict the CV for a second. Oh, but then the Peace Ryan goes down as well. So both Peace Ryans down. I mean, Milan F3 getting kills on AA pieces, but he really needs to get kills on CVs.
Yeah, another problem is Nick the Man is currently on the Hunt and Echo here. He's probably going to knock out both of these mortars and capture an empty FOB. But fortunately, Ghosty does have his command vehicle in a very safe location.
Yeah, it's right there in the back of the forest line, but they can threaten the supply line here. They can cut off the ability for any further reinforcements. I mean, we are past 5 minutes here, and it does feel like at this point that
oh my god, the clerk down south just got side-shotted, I believe, by an ATGM. That is...
And there goes the French armor.
Yeah. That's... Yeah. Oh, I think it might have been the SCRV, but it just got blapped.
Yeah, either way, it got blapped, and so the heavy armor is finally dead. I mean, there's shots hitting that SCR command vehicle, but all Nick has to do is just maintain his current structures. Okay, yeah, the Rover's going out, killing the Panther here. Actually took a lot of hits.
Yeah, and you see Nick has actually been very much dwindled down in the town, but his time, it doesn't matter. He's pretty much already run.
Yeah, the Panther is moving in as well. It's actually... where's that
Tigger
Panther?
hat from spawn, flying right over the infantry.
Yeah, it's getting shot up there by the infantry. It does have those nice 68 millimeter rockets, but the MG3 is just kind of tearing it up right there. Some Dragonair action. Yeah, definitely it goes bruh. He needs some Legion 90 or something to clear them out. The Panther's going way deep right now. Oh, but Nick, I think, sees it. The Fennec 20 mil's on the patrol. Does he see it?
What's he trying to do?
But the Panther beats it. Panther said, bye-bye, sayonara. Oh, no, he's going to get out. Oh, yeah, he's going to get out. Oh, no, he doesn't!
It's getting desperate. We've got the Fennec 20 going right over Delta. It's going to kill the command infantry, easy peasy. Dragonairs are still causing havoc. It's gonna kill the Tigger, actually. Took a little bit of fire, because it does have that 1 armor.
Bad day right there. It's a bad day at the office. Yeah, and this game quickly spiraled out of control, Ring.
Yup. Yup. Will the Phoenix get to the CV?
I don't know. I bet you he GG's out before the Phoenix kill the CV. There's no way the Phoenix end the game like that. I mean, they will end it either way.
Yeah.
They'll either force it or not.
Dirty.
It's definitely dirty.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
Yeah, that's the GG. And a 1200 KD difference, and what a match!
Yeah, it was definitely entertaining, interesting, crazy match there. I really thought Ghosty had a shot towards the late portion of the end game there, but I think he just waited too long and he gave Nick too much time to rebuild that front.
Yeah, the Fog of War can be an absolute bitch sometimes, especially up north, as he had, as Reshaw and our God Vision, like a perfect opportunity to do a good counter thrust. But honestly, I love that central town push. Like, you never see people go for it. It's so nice watching a Mudfight replay where you aren't fighting over Alpha the entire time. Like, there's nothing happened in Alpha. It was a completely different sector of the battle we were watching. And as we saw, if you can get a really good stronghold in that town, even though it's not directly on a command zone, it gives you really good coverage and the ability to attack into many interesting locations.
Yeah, and I think the big thing, too, is that Nick executed his strategy from the start, right? And he really didn't deviate from his opening. Whereas it felt like, to me, Ghosty immediately changed what he was doing based upon Nick's opener. And I'm not, maybe, hindsight's 2020. It really felt like he missed an opportunity by being, having the entire northern portion of the map to go threaten Nick, right? Instead, he deviated half of his resources, or maybe, two Leclercs is probably more than half, right? Yes. A lot of them in a fight that they were never going to be able to win there off the start, and it immediately put him on the back foot and kind of playing to Nick's tune.
Yeah, Troy's like the interesting decision you have to make if you're getting pushed heavy in one flank is, do I just push heavy in the other flank, especially if you've invested a lot of resources there, like we saw
Right.
with Ghosty, or do you try and re-divert, because you do lose momentum by trying to play in a defensive, yeah, but at the same time you don't want your CV to get killed, so it's always like the awesome dynamic of wargame replays of just how fast things can go and just how you have to divert your resources across the map.
No, absolutely. And it was a really interesting game from both players. Two of the best players in the game rang, and you got to watch them kind of duke it out there. And Nick, I guess, showing why he has that field marshal rank.
Indeed, indeed. But yeah, once again, Graham, thank you very much for joining us as usual.
No, absolutely. I appreciate you having me on.
Indeed. And thank you, the viewer at home, for watching. And as usual, please just take it easy.